Hi everyone, welcome to this week's session. So hopefully, if you've been doing all the other sessions, you should be getting used to the movements now, and should be building up some strength, some stamina, some flexibility. So today's session is actually going to be quite powerful, okay? So it's going to be a bit shorter, but we're going to get into the moves quite quick. We're going to basically create some heat today. So we're going to work straight into the core. We're then going to go into lots of leg work, lots of arm work. So it is quite a strong practice today. So if this is your first time doing the video, what I'd recommend is going back and maybe doing one a week or two a week, building up to this one. And hopefully people that have been doing this will notice that actually they feel quite confident with this session today. So to start with, we're actually going to start on our backs. And I'm going to get you to bring your feet together and let the legs drop out to the side. Okay, so to get onto your back today, what I'm going to get you to do to start with, if you can, bring the soles of your feet together. So into this position here. Now it might be that your knees are here, it might be a little bit lower. Soles of the feet together, and I want you to start to roll through the back to come into a lying position. So engage the core here. And we're going to do this together, so go with me, folks. Push the feet into each other, so you're creating some tension in the legs. Pull the belly button in, and imagine someone's lowering you down inch by inch. So straight away, we're already creating some heat. Push the feet together, keep holding, engaging the core, all the way down. So as soon as your back hits, maybe start to take each vertebra down. And then slowly, you're probably done now, just come into this position. Place the hands onto the abdomen. Just let the legs relax out to the side. Now, if you do struggle with this, you might need to put a pillow either side of the legs here. So you can pause the video and just put a pillow. But the idea is we're going to start opening through the hips in this position. So just let the hips open and relax. If you find this a bit tough, maybe take the feet a little bit further down the mat or bring them up wherever it feels comfortable, because we're going to be here for about 10 breaths. So, placing the hands onto the tummy, make sure the back of the head is in contact with the mat, the floor, the carpet, wherever you're lying on. Make sure the shoulder blades are resting into the floor. You might have a slight arch in your back here, that's absolutely fine. Notice maybe the hip bones are on the floor. Notice the knees out wide and the feet touching. And anything you're feeling at the moment into your hips, just embrace this, okay? This is not causing any problems, it's just we're opening the hips up. Try and relax through your jaw here. So maybe just separate the teeth. Bring your tongue down so it's not on the roof of your mouth. And just notice, as you let the jaw relax, see if that feels any better on your hips. And just notice your normal breath here. Slowly start to bring some awareness to the breath now, and start to take them deep breaths that we spoke about before. Inhaling through the nose, pushing your belly out towards your hands, and exhaling through the nose. Feeling the belly button drop in. As you exhale, bring the belly towards the spine. Feel the hands lower. As you inhale, expand the belly, so push your belly into your hands. Maybe add some pelvic floor now. So as you inhale, push the belly out, forget about the pelvic floor, but then as you exhale, pull the belly button in and actually pull your pelvic floor muscle in. So you're pulling them hip bones together, you're pulling in down below, front and back passage. Then release as you inhale, and then pull up as you exhale. This can be quite a nice time to actually work on your pelvic floor at the beginning of a session, just to get it engaged and focused, ready for the practice. 2 more breaths in your own time. Expanding the belly, releasing and drawing everything in. Lovely. So if your eyes were shut, open your eyes. Maybe wiggle through the fingers now. Place your hands either side of your hips. Help them to bring your knees back together here. And we're just going to go for some window wiping of the legs. So taking the knees over to the left and then slowly across to the right. Let's start to warm up a little bit now. So the hips might be telling you that they've been stretched for a little bit, and that's absolutely fine. So start to work through some nice window wipes. Keep going. Inhale as you come up. Exhale as you go to the side. Inhale as you come up. Exhale as you go to the side. Bringing the feet to centre now. Now take the legs over to the left. Cactus your arms. So cactus, 90 degrees with the arms here. Make sure you stack both knees over, so you might need to readjust here. Make sure the right shoulder is grounded down. And just turn to your right shoulder, right hand to look away. So notice that spinal twist that you can feel here. So just take 3 breaths here and feel the breath going into the ribs. Notice the rise of the rib cage. Notice the fall of the rib cage. Just become aware of any tightness that you feel into the side here. On your next inhale, bring your knees to centre. On your next exhale, take the knees over to the opposite side. Make sure the knees and hips are stacked. Make sure the left shoulder is grounded down. And then take a look to your left-hand side. Maybe close the eyes off here. Breathe in and notice the breath going into the left side of the lungs, of the ribs, of the intercostal muscles. Notice how this feels. On your next inhale, bring your knees back to centre. Bring your hands back down by your hips. And take the legs up to the ceiling. Okay. And we're just going to straighten. So in this position, make sure you point your toes towards your face. This makes your quads, so your thighs, active. Okay. I want you to point through the toes and then point the toes down. And we're going to work through a few of these. Inhale to point. Exhale, let go. Keep working through. Make sure everything's engaged. Squeeze things in. 3 more. 1. Point the toes. 2. Point the toes. 3. Point the toes. Now, with the toes pointed, start to circle through the ankles. So you might notice some clicks and plunks, that's absolutely fine. Try and keep the legs as strong as you can, and the movement's only coming from the ankles. Take the ankles the opposite way. Make sure you're doing your breathing here as well. Lovely. Okay. Keep the right leg pointing up. It's entirely up to you. You can either keep the toes pointed towards your face or point them up. And then squeeze your belly button into towards your spine, so you're flattening your back, so there's no arch in your back here, so to protect your low back. Keep the hands down by the side for some support, and slowly start to lower the left leg as far as you can. Hover if you're able to, and then lift back up. So this is all coming from the core and the hips here. So again with the next side, pull the belly button in, flatten the back. So as you're pulling, you might get a little lift here. Your pubic bone will come off a little bit. Take the right leg down, hover, and then bring back up. And we're going to do a few on each side. So take the left leg down now. Hover, bring it back up. If you can't go as low, that's absolutely fine. Even to here is fine. So go to where you need to. If your hips are clunking, that's absolutely fine. We're just creating some air, create some space. So keep going one at a time. Come back up here. 1 more each side now, okay? You're going to hold it, hover. Squeeze that belly button in, squeeze it in, lift it back up. Last one on the other side. Take the leg down, hover, squeeze in, Come back up to center. Just bring the legs down. Maybe have a forward fold here. So tuck the knees in, grab around here. So grab around the knees, grab around the shins. And just maybe have a rock from side to side. So you're massaging that low back a little bit now. Massaging the kidneys. You can either stay in this position or you might want a bit of a forward stretch now. So bring your forehead to your knees and have a really good stretch in this position here. That can be really nice. Lovely. Come back down. Brilliant. So we're going to head over to on all four position now, okay? But to get there, and we're going to get to do a few rock and rolls and then come into that position. But we're going to do a bit of a hold in between just to fire up the solar plexus and core today. Okay, so take the hands behind the thighs. Nearly forgot what that was called then. See how I get me right and left this week. And just start to do some rock and rolls. So use your core here to bring yourself up. So just keep getting to this position. When you can, come up and maybe hold into your boat pose. So bring the chest up. We don't want to be rounded. We want to be up here. Okay, so everything's nice and open. You might need to keep your hands down if you're struggling. You might need to just put your tiptoes on the floor if you're struggling as well. But the idea is that we're lifting through the chest here. We're going low enough so that we can engage the core and feel the core. So we're just going to fire this up here a little bit. We're going to hold it, and you're going to hate me, I'm sorry. Summer ups, this is what it's about. Okay. Release back into your rock and roll. Woo-hoo, we're firing up the core. Okay, when you're ready, come back up into that boat pose. Now maybe start tapping the toes. Engage the core, pull the belly button towards the spine. Make sure the heart is open. We're nice and wide here. If you're struggling, put your hands onto the floor or take the hands up. Keep tapping the toes for me. Well done, guys. Remember, pause the video if you need a rest. Make sure there's not too much tension in the neck here. Rock and roll back 3 times. 1, 2. When you're ready, you're going to cross the legs and come up into your on all four position. Well done. So hopefully that's created some heat now already, which is fantastic. So we're going to come into that on all four position, and we're just going to work through some cat-cows to mobilise the spine. So making sure shoulders over elbows, over hands, hands nice and wide. If you're a locker out of your elbows, make sure there's a little bit of a soft bend. Hips over knees, feet flat onto the floor. Push through the hands, push through the feet. Go for your cat-cow now. So your cow, we're going to arch the back up. We're going to come to look up, pull the shoulder blades away, and then just move. So keep the head where it is. But first movement is going to come from the low pelvis. So you're going to pull the pelvic floor in, pull the pelvic bone, keep the head, and have the last thing to come up as your head. And then bring your head to look towards your pelvis, towards your belly button. Push into the floor here with your hands. Push into the tops of your feet so you can really round. And then when you're going for your next move, keep the head where it is, lower the belly button and arch the back, and let the head be the last thing to come up. So we're working with some spinal waves here. So in your own time, you're going to tilt the pelvis first as you round, and then the head's going to follow last. So we're thinking about waves, think of the ocean, think of that rippling, nice and smooth as you move through each movement. And this is really good to get all the different segments of the spine. So as you round, pull the belly in, belly button towards the spine, push through the shoulders, and then bring the head. Last one, and come into center now. Real. So hopefully everyone's feeling a little bit fired up there, which is great. So what I'm going to get you to do is just take your hands a little bit further in front, and we're just going to warm up through the arms today. We're going to go for some either press-ups or tricep dips. So ideally, let's work on the backs of the arms a little bit. So in a previous video, I talked a lot of people do push-ups this way. Let's work on tricep push-ups. So they're a little bit harder. They're actually more military push-ups. So if you're in the military, proper push-ups would be them ones. They wouldn't be these ones. Okay. So, and they're really good for yoga, especially if you're progressing to chaturangas and stronger practice. So just bring the arms out in front of you. You can either keep the feet on the floor here, or you can bring them up or just tuck them in wherever you need to be. Okay, so maybe do a few and see how it feels. What I'm going to get you to do, you're going to lock the core in, so pull the belly button in nice and strong. Make sure the elbows are able to come down the side of you here, hover, and then come back up. If this is too much, just come down and do little pulses. You're still working, folks, that's what we want, okay? So we're going to go in a second. We're going to go for sets of 4, but we're going to come into a child pose in between, okay? So we're going to go for it. So number 1, come down and back up. Number 2, come down, back up, hold the core in. Number 3, come down, back up. And number 4, come down, back up. Bring the toes together, take the hips wide, come back into your child's pose here. So make sure the bum is sitting onto the heels, make sure the arms are stretched out and just rest them arms. Let them arms completely relax onto the mat. Maybe massage the forehead into the mat here as well, just to roll out. I'm just going to take 3 breaths here. Bring the heart rate down. In your own time, I'm going to go back into that position and complete another set. So bringing the hands slightly in front, either keeping the legs down, pulsing a little bit, or coming a little bit lower. We're going to go for another 4. So bringing the shoulders down and the elbows. So elbows are caressing the body. That's 1. 2, pull the core in. 3, you're doing well, guys. Number 4, hold it if you can and hover, 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 hover. Pull the body in, push the elbows in, and come back into that wide child pose. Stretch the arms out here. Lovely. Maybe in this child's pose, maybe walk the hands to the right-hand side, place the left hand on top of the right, and see if you can feel a stretch down that side body. So your head can be lifted slightly, your head can be forehead on the mat. Feel that stretch, the left arm, the left tricep, the left shoulder, left ribs, left hip. Okay, walk back to the centre, and then over to the left side, placing the right hand on top of the left hand. Biceps caressing ears, and just stretch. So maybe reaching up through that right hand and feel that stretch throughout that right side again. Take some nice inhales and exhales here, through the nose, out through the nose. Real. Return to centre. And bring yourself back into that on all 4 position. So we're going to start our flow now. We're going to get quite into this quite quick. And it's going to be quite strong on the legs as well, but hopefully if you've been doing the other videos, we're feeling good. Okay, so what do we always do before we go into a downward dog with me? We click the core on, okay? This is just to help prevent any injuries. So make sure the hands are grounded down. Squeeze the belly button in, flat back, lift and hover. Hover here. Push through the shoulders so your shoulder blades are just engaged. And then when you're ready, bend your knees, push your hips up to the sky to come into your downward dog. Now if that's your first downward dog of the day, you might be feeling really tight into the hamstrings. If you are, just have that bend into the knees here, that's absolutely fine. Just start to take the dog for a walk, okay? So lower the left and right heels alternatively. Maybe lower the left heel now, straighten the left leg, bend the right leg. Notice the sensations down the back of your leg here, okay? Then complete the other side, so straighten the right leg, push the right heel down, and then bend through the left leg. Lovely. Make sure belly button's tucked in, make sure the spine, make sure the won't get my body part mixed up, not as good as a physio, is it? Make sure the ribs are tucked in so you're not flaring the ribs out. Okay. So we're going to start with our flow. I'm going to get you to lift the right leg up as high as you can to the sky, okay? What I'm going to get you to do, you're going to bring that right leg through, step the right leg between the hands. We're going to come into a low lunge, lower the knee, and tuck the foot. Maybe take the hands to here, if not, sweep all the way up. Okay, we're going to open up from this position. So really ground through that foot, that right foot. Bring the hands either side and open through the chest here. Shine your heart towards the sky. Come back to centre, frame the front foot, untuck the toes, lift the knee, step back to your downward facing dog. We're going straight into it, guys. Lifting the left leg as high as you can towards the sky. Make sure the right leg's nice and straight. Bend and bring the left leg through the hands. Lower slowly down the right knee. Untuck the toes. Come into your low lunge. Either resting hands here or swooping the arms all the way up. And then when you're ready, I'm going to come into that arch with the back. So opening the heart centre towards the sky. Lovely. When you're ready, bringing the hands forward, framing the front foot, untucking the toes, untucking the knee, and then stepping back to your downward facing dog. Fantastic. Okay, just gain your breath again. Maybe just have a bit of a wiggle round. I'm constantly wiggling in the downward dog. Okay, so when you're ready, we're going to take the right foot up again. From here, I want you to open and stack your hips. So you're going to bring your right heel to your bum and then open the knee. So you point the knee towards the sky. This left leg, and this is nice and straight. Make sure you don't twist through the body. Make sure the top of the half body is straight. And just feel that engagement. When you're ready, step that foot all the way through using your core. So pull your belly muscles in as you step through. You're then going to come into your high lunge. So make sure you've got some weight in the front foot and the back front hands. Sweep up and come into that high lunge position here. So really important in this high lunge, just tuck here to engage the spine, engage the core and the belly button, and reach up. Lovely. Hold it here. We'll bring the hands to heart center. We're going to add a little twist in here while we're in this position. Okay, your legs are going to be screaming. Well, thank you for it. So bring your left elbow, oh, I'm getting it right this week, to your right knee. This might be enough. If you can, come into a side twist. So push your left elbow onto your knee. If you're struggling to balance here, lower that left knee to twist. But if not, try and stay upright. And just hold here. Push the left heel back. Engage through the glutes, engage the core. Use the hands together to push. Okay. When you're ready, bring the hands back to heart center. No, that front leg screaming. Ground through the top foot and then step back into your downward facing dog. So really nice and slow and controlled. Ooh, fantastico. As Gino Di Campo would say. Lovely. So we're creating some heat, guys. When you're ready, we're going to do the same with the left leg. So take the left leg high to the sky. Make sure the right leg's nice and straight. Then open and stack the hips. So bring the right heel to your bum cheek. Make sure you're facing forwards with your chest. And really squeeze through. So you aim is to take that left knee towards the ceiling. Okay. Then step through. Make sure you use the core. So pull up, step through, ground through that front foot. Make sure you're nice and strong. Sweep up into your high lunge here. Again, making sure you're pulling in the abdominals here. Reaching up. Take some breaths. Make sure the knee is in line with the toe and it's not coming in. We're nice and in line. Bring the hands to heart center. Keep strong, keep lifted. Inhale and take your right elbow to your left knee. This might be enough, or if you can, push into a twist. So you've got to be really strong here in everything. So the front leg, the core is lifted, the hands are pushing in, and the back leg is stretching back here. If this is too much, come down to your low lunge. So if any of this is too much with the high lunge, you just stick with the low lunge. That's absolutely fine. The difference is we've got one knee on the floor and one knee up, so it's fine. Ooh, she says. Okay, lovely. Come back to center. This leg is burning. Frame the front foot. Step back into your downward dog and just take 5 breaths here in this downward dog. And if you're struggling, you can come in to child's pose with the knees together, which is what I'm going to do. Just get my breath back and just rest here for a few breaths. Taking time to just bring that heart rate down. Notice what you're feeling. Notice your heartbeat. Notice some heat being created. Maybe some tingling. What are you feeling? Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. In your own time, when you're ready, if you want more time, just pause the video. The advantage of that, you're going to bring yourself back up, and we're going to make our way back into that downward facing dog to go through a different flow now. Okay, so it's going to be quite intense. We can do it, guys. So bring your hands forward, come into that tabletop position first, engage the core, so tuck the legs, lift the belly button, hover, then push the hips up and come up into your downward facing dog. Okay. So from here, we're going to lift the right leg. We're going to open and stack the hips, so bringing the right knee towards the ceiling, bringing the right foot towards the bum. We're then going to hover and step this through in between our hands. Maybe you need to give yourself a helping hand. You're going to come into that high lunge, and then we're going to go straight to our warrior two. So we're going to draw our swords, we're going to flip the back foot, and we're going to open out into our warrior two here. Lovely strong pose. So just checking your form in this warrior two. Make sure the arms are out straight, make sure you're looking down through the middle finger, you look back through the middle finger. Make sure the knee isn't rolling in, make sure it's in line with the toe, make sure everything's engaged here. Okay, so we're gonna go for reverse. You're gonna flip the front palm, you're gonna reach forward with your hips, and then you're gonna bring the left hand to rest on the back leg, and then stretch through the upper arm. Really important to keep bending that front leg here. A lot of people want to come out, lovely. Come back into your warrior two. This front leg's going to be screaming, I'm sorry. We're going to come into a side angle pose now. So, before we do that, let's just straighten that front leg. Let's just relax a little bit. Have a bit of a shimmy and a shake off. Just to take that pressure off that knee a little bit, because the next one's going to be quite strong. So, just have a moment here. Come back into your warrior two. So bend through that front leg, draw your swords, a really strong, powerful pose. You're then going to bring your right elbow towards your right knee. Okay, now it's really important. A lot of people just dump the weight here and you can just hang about. Put it just in front so that you've not got that weight through it. Keep this in this position. Maybe take the left hand up and look towards the left hand. This is level one of our side angle. Okay, really strong pose. If this feels okay, and actually you can go a bit lower, you might want to bend into that front foot and actually place the right hand onto the floor in front of the left. And then start to twist open the body so your heart's opening up. Maybe taking the left hand to the right crease, so you're coming to here on that side and actually really opening up through this position. Lovely. The next progression from here is actually a bind. So you take the right hand and bring it underneath to meet that left hand. And then you can either stay here or you can look towards the ceiling, really open out the chest. So we're in a really good bind position here. This is super tough, so this might take a few sessions to build to this. When you're ready, drop the right hand. Use the right hand and your core to bring you back up to that warrior two. I know them knees are killing, I'm sorry. And just straighten that right leg. And bring your right leg to face the front. Heel toe in slightly, so you're in this V position. And just have a bit of a relax here, a bit of a shake out, see how you're feeling with that. Okay. Place the hands to your hips, pull your thigh muscles up, and start to hinge to a forward fold. So keep the legs nice and straight, hinge to a forward fold here. If you can, bring your fingertips to the floor. So you've got a nice flat back in this position. Okay, so I'll show you from the side. We're making sure that we're hinging and we're coming down here in this position. So you're going to inhale, flat back. Exhale, try and fold forward. Squeeze the kneecaps up. So as we contract the front, this allows the back to lengthen. So muscles work together. Antagonistic, one contract, one relax. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And exhale, fold. Maybe fold a little bit more. You're onto the full arms here. Maybe experiment moving your weight forward and backwards. So moving your weight onto your toes and onto your heels, and just notice the difference of where you're feeling the muscle. Well done, guys. This is a strong pose. Lovely. Okay, we're going to come back up to centre now. So I'm going to get you to place your hands to your hips, bend the knees and roll back up into this position. You're going to turn that right foot towards the front. You're then going to turn the left foot towards the front into your lunge. Bring the front foot back into your downward facing dog. And the advantage of this, we've got it all to do on the left-hand side. Lovely. Okay, so when you're ready, lift the left leg, open and stack the hips. So bring the left heel to the left bum cheek, open the knee. So get really open and wide here. Make sure you're looking forward, facing forward. Step that left foot through. Come into your high lunge here. Once you're in your high lunge, you feel comfortable. You're going to open in to your warrior two. So you're going to pivot to the outside of that right leg, keeping that knee bent. You're then going to draw your swords out into this position here. Okay, making sure that this knee is in line with the toes. Everything's in line here in this position. Let me just show you on this side. So making sure you're in line in your warrior. Okay, lovely. So we're going to flip the front palm. We're going to reach forward and we're going to reverse the warrior. So placing the right hand onto the back leg, nice and strong in this back leg. Push through the foot, strong through the front leg, and maybe looking up. Maybe just looking slightly to the side. Nice, strong warrior. Lovely. Come back up to centre. Just straighten that front leg a little minute. Have a bit of a shimmy, have a bit of a shake out. Just so you're not dumping into that front leg all the time before we go into our side angle. Okay. Ready. Come back into your warrior two. Draw your swords. Make sure the knee is over the toe. Nice bend. Make sure the belly's engaged. Bring the left elbow to your left knee, making sure you're not just resting and dumping the weight. Place it in front, so it's sort of pushing it back slightly. Maybe bring the right hand to the sky. So this is level one of your side angle, okay? Make sure you have got a bend to open up the hips. If this feels okay, you may want to go lower, taking the left hand to the side of the foot here. So we're in this really open position, this open T shape. Maybe look up to the top hand, okay? Make sure you're breathing, inhaling and exhaling, guys. Okay, when you're ready, you might want to go for that bind. So maybe take the right hand and place it on your left hip crease so you can open the chest here. You can open through. If this feels comfortable, you might want to go for your bind, taking your left hand underneath your knee to catch your right hand, pull, and then you can really open wide here. You do have to get a little bit lower for that front leg to get round. Lovely. When you're ready, place the left hand back down, right hand to the ceiling, frame the front foot, come in to that low lunge, she says, and then back down into your downward facing dog, and then come into a child's pose. So, feet together, hips nice and wide, sit on your bum here, and come down into child's pose. Oh, you deserve that rest there. You're going to be feeling it. Woohoo! Well done, guys. Strong flow, strong flow. Just have a minute. Notice the breath. Notice your heartbeat. Maybe notice the heat that's being created into the legs and into the core. Try and bring that heart rate back down now by really focusing on the breath. Slowing the breath down. Maybe inhaling for 4. And exhaling for 4. Just relax into this position. When you're ready, Walk the hands back up. Bring your legs together, your knees together. Sit onto your right side of your bum cheek. And bring the legs in front here, in front of you. Lovely. Just give them a little bit of a shake out. Oh, they're going to be a bit tired after that. Okay, you're probably feeling the burn a little bit. So we're going to stretch them out a little bit here. So we're going to just work on the back first. We're going to come into a forward fold. So pull the toes towards the spine. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, hinge at the back and come into that forward fold. So maybe separate the bum cheeks here so you're grounded down the floor and just go to where your body naturally takes you. Really important, what I don't want to see is this, a rounding. So make sure you sort of bring yourself so your tummy muscles are touching here. I'd rather you be here than rounding too much. So just hold in this position. Maybe inhale, come up slightly. And exhale, try and go a little bit lower. So the idea with our exhales is as we exhale, we just let go a little bit more. We let go of that tension, that tightness that we feel within the body. The importance of the breath, bringing oxygen, fresh nutrients. The importance of the exhale, letting everything go. Place your hands onto your legs to walk yourself back up. Bring the right foot inside on the left thigh. Left leg pointing forward. Make sure again the bum cheeks are grounded onto the floor, so you lift the flesh away. Just turn to face that left leg so you're not facing this way. Inhale, swoop the arms up. Exhale, forward fold over the front leg. Maybe grabbing the toes here, no pressure. Maybe push the right foot into the thigh to get a little bit deeper. And just notice what you're feeling here, where you feel the tension. As you inhale, maybe lift up, and as you exhale, maybe forward fold a little bit more. No pressure here, no tension. You don't want to be pulling everything in. Just relaxing into this position here. Maybe move the leg from side to side, the feet, just to get into the hamstrings in different areas. That can be quite nice as well. We're not going mental here, guys. We're not training for a gymnastics competition. So we're just going slow. In your own time, walk yourself back up. Change legs. Straighten out the right leg. Bring the left leg to the thigh. Make sure it's nice and straight. Remove the flesh from the sit bones. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, forward fold over that foot. Okay, really gentle here. Everyone has a different side, so it's natural for the sides to feel quite different. Just notice where you're feeling the pulling. Notice your body sensations. Just hang out here as best as you can. Just relax. Yeah. Return to center, and we're going to finish the practice the way we started the practice. I'm going to get you to bring your feet together. Going to finish with a bit of core with it. So, imagine someone's lowering you down. You're going to come into that position again. So you're going to roll back through the bum, maybe your coccyx, onto your back, push the feet together so make sure they're engaged, make sure the belly buttons in, because that's going to hold you. You're going to lower down, lower nice and slow, and then come onto your back here. Same position as before, except this time, place the hands down either side of the hips, palms facing upwards, fingers naturally curled in, feet touching, let them spill apart, open the hips out here. Make sure the low back is touching the floor, shoulder blades, neck, back of head. Just notice how different your hips feel now to when you first started. So maybe at the beginning you might have had a cushion either side, but actually now it should feel better. So the hips should feel more open. You might notice as well that your jaws actually feel a little bit. Jaws. I don't know what James Bond earlier. Yeah, your jaw might feel a little bit more relaxed. So we're going to spend some time here now, just in silence. So I don't want you to think about your breath. I just want you to enjoy this time, your sweet Savasana. Slowly, bring some awareness back. Wiggle the fingers. Turn the palms up and down. Use your hands inside your hips. Push your legs back up. And take a roll onto whatever side serves you best. Using your hands as a pillow here in this fetal position. In this position, notice how you feel now. Energized, heat, heart rate, breathing. In your own time, use your left or right hand to push yourself back up into a cross-legged or comfortable seating position. Place your hands onto your thighs. Maybe close down the eyes. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. Let go of anything that doesn't serve you. Inhale through the nose. And let it out. Bring your hands to heart center. And just thank yourself for practicing today and doing this session. And thank your body for being here. Thank your mind. And I thank you for all practicing with me today on that tough session. And I'm going to say namaste. Thank you very much. Hopefully that's created some heat today. You might need a little bit of rest after that. The legs will be telling you. That was a really good firing session. It's just quite nice when you just want to get the endorphins pumping and get a bit more powerful yoga that's a bit quicker. So well done everyone who's done that session, because that was a tough session. Fantastic to see you all again, and I'll see you all soon. Toodle pip, folks.